What up, world? It's your girl, T Pretty Smile, and today's episode is sponsored by JFL Productions and Ultimate Level Graphics. All right, welcome to Real Raw Let's Talk. It's your girl, it's your neighbor, your auntie. Let me borrow some sugar, a cup of tea, VCR. I'm Felicia from next door. Nah. It's your T, your girl T, Pretty Smile in the building with Real Raw Let's Talk. I know y'all see we got some new faces in the building.
And some familiar ones too.
She gonna make sure she get her little shout out. And her little
over me. I felt it.
I'm supposed to get her own little intro, but you know what? I'm gonna speak over her. L'Oreal. No. JB in the building.
Cut her mic.
As y'all see, we got my co-host in the building, JB. Woo, woo, woo. And let's go ahead and introduce our guest in the building, because I know y'all see these handsome men at the table, y'all. They just handsome,
Young, black, and handsome.
Okay. I like that.
Young, black, and handsome.
Young, black, and handsome. I like that. And stampy. We so good, y'all. All right. We're gonna let them introduce themselves, y'all. We're gonna meet some men in here. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Tyler.
You start for me.
Yeah.
I'm Tyler. How y'all doing?
Okay, Tyler in the building.
And he's a relationship guru.
Okay, tell them about you. Come see Tyler for them issues.
That's the tweet.
Tweet. Come on, Christian.
I'm Chris.
Hey,
No, it ain't that ain't it. Tell them about you. Check them dreads. Tell them about you.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Well, I make t-shirts. So.
Okay, you do them designs. So if you need your work on the t-shirt, go holler at Christian.
Yes.
Come on, Pretty Fred.
I'm Fred, editor, producer, photographer, video photographer, marketer.
The whole nine. And he's Real Raw's editor and shake down everything else is.
Okay, try not to get sick over here with the waves, man. Sick over here.
Is all right. Well, as y'all know, we're gonna bring out a good topic today with another one for you to listen to. So today we're gonna dive into relationship and expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're ready for it, Jazz.
I don't know. We're going to see.
Let's see what we gonna talk about with them.
See if they ready for it.
Real raw?
Okay, it's about to get real and raw.
All right.
Okay. So with these expectations in relationships, so when y'all get into relationships, how do you know what to expect or what even to even like bring up when you with somebody? Or what to ask them to expect? You know what I mean?
Do we have those conversations? Because first and foremost, I don't feel like we even have those conversations about expectations. I feel like people are either scared to ask for what they
I
want,
agree.
or when
Just
you
don't.
ask for what they want, they don't get it. So it's just still like, what's the point even trying to set them anyways?
Yeah.
I'm big on intention up front. I feel like when you meet somebody, up front should be the intention of what you're looking for, what you need, and what you're trying to get. And if it's not labeled like that, then it gives confusion. It just follows the confusion.
That is so true.
So why are we afraid to have those conversations? Because I feel like from a woman's perspective, if you try to bring expectations to a man, sometimes it can be seen as like a turn off, or that she asking for too much, or it becomes like overwhelming for y'all in the beginning. A woman tells you what she's looking for.
Because we're trying. Go
Y'all
ahead.
say that's true.
Is that the truth?
I feel like women are scared to ask. I feel like men move too fast, and we don't ask, and we don't realize that we don't ask.
I don't care.
Yeah, well, we care what's afterwards. Like a lot of times people get in a relationship and don't even, know how many kids each other want, what city they want to reside in and stuff like that. You're supposed to have that conversation at the beginning. That's how a lot of relationships that be together for so long, they break up because they realize
You don't have shit in common.
y'all have nothing in common. Y'all was just, having a good time and having sex. It's like,
that's what's expected though. I just want to get in your pants. So
yeah.
But is that not the case though? know, because I feel like that's the narrative for a lot of men these days. Is that's how they
You can't
turn
just,
up.
you can't say it's just me because there's a lot of women that be ready to just, hey, and we
But I
out.
don't like it. Why is it that men do one thing and women don't do it? I feel like it's equal. Like everyone's like, oh, all men cheat. Women cheat too.
Yeah.
Well,
You can,
but
women cheat too, if not more. That's my opinion.
Better.
I agree.
Better.
But
Better.
I'm agreeing. I know women cheat, but I feel like at the root of it, I feel like women are trying to follow what men are doing. I feel like that innately, I still feel like the traditional way of the man being the leader of the household and kind of women being submissive is still somewhere ingrained in us. And so when we see men out here trying to have different women and different relationships, playing with our feelings, getting us emotionally attached while they can still go off and do everything else, we trying to even the playing field. So I feel like that when we cheat, it's not so much just out of just us being dogs, so to speak. I feel like we're trying to get something out of y'all 10 times out of 9.
And the men trying to be the woman too. They probably hoochie daddies out here.
Hoochie daddy? What's the hoochie daddy?
Define hoochie daddy, please.
The hoochie daddy is
Yes.
is a
That's a good
hoochie.
one.
Tell the people what the hoochie daddy is.
Just a hoochie mama in a male perspective. Like, you know, a lot of these guys are trying to be hot boys or
Okay.
instead of hot girls. You know, it's like the rules are.
Is that what it is?
I feel
Or
like
they or more like feminine.
yeah. I
You
would
can't
say
say hoochie.
Is it feminine?
It's a difference between being feminine and being like you said, a hoochie mama. 'Cause
Right.
I know feminine men, but still can carry themselves in like a different way than being like.
So would you
Yeah.
call them more sensitive? Like in tune with their emotions?
It could be that. It could be that.
And a lot of women don't expect the man to be in tune with it. So when they get that, they're like, oh, you
Yeah.
soft.
Well, I think that too. That comes from a lot of how we've been grown up and how men have been portrayed to be. How we've seen men grown up to be, and it's been passed down how men have grown up to be. I'm not saying that it's right. We've been taught that men are supposed to be this tough, and they're not supposed to cry, and they're supposed to be, and then like it's worn like a band of armor, you know. And women is the same, you know. Like we've been, it's a armor to be.
Submissive?
I wrote that down.
I say independent.
I feel like women are taught to be more independent, especially from where what they've grown up with. If they had a single mom,
And stand on their own,
or
to
if
carry
their
their
dad,
own.
or if their dad was in their life, and they're like, "Well, I don't need you to be, depending on the dude, so you gotta have your own."
Yeah.
When you get in that
Yeah.
relationship, you're like, "Well, you gotta be like my dad."
Yeah.
There's another, so
Yeah.
it turns into something.
I agree with that because I wrote that down. That was like when I was kind of trying to organize the conversation. I was trying to identify what the gender roles and the expectations were, and I put that like most men are expected to be like the protector, the provider. They're supposed to be like less emotional, more like the logical, while the women are supposed to be more the nurturers, the in the house child. That's the traditional setting that we came from. I agree with
I
you.
feel
But
like
I'm saying that's the reason why, as women, that when we do come across a man that may be more in tune with his emotions, it's not what we expected because those aren't the roles that's been defined. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm saying that's why I feel like some, men aren't comfortable showing their emotions because then they feel like they're not fitting into that role of what a man's supposed to
But women ain't worried about that.
be. Yes, we are.
I mean,
Yes, we
I
are.
think it's BS.
Yes, we
I
are.
think you saying that is BS. Just
Which
because
part?
women care about men emotions.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, because the minute that if you were to meet a man and he end up crying or tries to tell you how he feels, the first thing you gonna say is, "Look at this weak ass man."
Absolutely not.
You might, but most women are gonna be like, "Look at this weak ass man crying and whining."
Most women, yes. I have to agree.
Most
women,
men cry.
On another note, most women, y'all don't even worry about how a man actually is feeling that day. It's like, how are you doing? You don't even worry about how he's really doing.
No,
Maybe
no,
you
that's
don't
not
ask.
true.
But if you ask a man how they doing, and they're like, "Oh, we good," y'all don't be like, "Well, is there anything else going on?" Like, is there something? Y'all don't engage in that. But if we ask y'all gonna tell us everything.
But that's the point.
And expect us to ask more so that you can get all of that on your chest.
But men aren't open either. I think it's
Exactly.
Because when we
Yes.
but when we are open, it's like, oh, okay.
And I can explain to you
What am I supposed to do about that? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I can't say anything because I've never been taught this.
Correct.
So,
and I think that it's a part of emotional intelligence because I feel like where men probably are now in this day and age probably getting more comfortable with expressing their emotions. I feel like women on the flip side of we tired of being emotional, we tired of crying, we tired of being in our feelings because now we're in the space of that independence. Okay, let me get out my feelings and get to this bag and get this money because I feel like at a time where we were trying to be emotionally available to y'all weren't being available to us. And so then when we cut ourselves off and now y'all coming back around, we not trying to hear it. So probably when you get that, like, look at this weak nigga because hell, we done had to deal with our emotions on our own. Wasn't nobody there for us. Y'all wasn't there to, dry our tears. We had to do that by ourselves.
But I feel like a lot of times y'all don't articulate your emotions either.
Right, because it's just closed out. Because then we'll
But
like
even when you were open, I feel like you didn't articulate it because you might just be like, I'm not having a good day. Okay, so why aren't you having a good day?
Right.
And you don't express why it was. Well, Patty down the street was cussing me out, but you worried about your dog. You talking about Patty down the street, but it all stemmed from the dog.
But I think that goes to expectations.
Right.
When you meet somebody, you tell them what you need from them. I need you to be open.
Right.
I need you to be open like this. The intention is to teach somebody how to love you because we don't know how to love each other until I tell you. So the expectation up front is why we have this conversation. So when we are having these emotional conversations, I do need you to be open. And I am a little bit sensitive and you might be a little bit emotional and we work through that.
Right.
So at the same time, the expectation of knowing how to love somebody is nobody knows how to love. Like you gotta love yourself. You gotta learn to love yourself to teach somebody else to love you. And you have to expect that. Me personally, you have to expect that from each person that you talk to. So if I don't know how to love myself, then how am I gonna tell you gotta love me and be open? I don't even know what the hell I want to be open about. First of all,
real. I do feel like in general we have to learn ourselves first because, like you said, you can't expect somebody else to love you if you don't love yourself first. I just don't think that's possible because then you don't know how to teach that person. And I feel like a lot of us, and especially in our younger, early 20s when everybody's trying to be in a relationship, we're not. That time should be spent figuring ourselves out. And we just so busy trying to jump in a relationship because if that's what society's telling us to do.
That's what I was doing in y'all 20s.
Yes.
I didn't have to
because for me personally, I was in high school. I was
I was trying to be in a relationship.
Well, I guess maybe not. No, you're right. I think that's what I wanted deep down. But I felt like everybody was in that party mode. But I feel like deep down I wanted a relationship. But I feel like I knew that our current generation was in like a different mode. So it's like either I was finding older guys to date, or it was just like I'm just with the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else in our age.
But I think it's different from what he said, where you have when you first meet somebody and you have to, what you need. But I also think it needs to be in reverse. You need to tell what you can offer. Like because a lot of times if you hey, I can offer this, I can offer that. A person will be like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, but that's not for me. Or they might be like, oh, that's exactly what I need. And then when you do that, then it's like, okay, so now that you offer this, that, and that, does that mean this, that, and that, and that? Then cool, y'all can, learn how to work with each other and be with each other after that. But if you're not letting each other know what you can offer and what you also need, because a lot of people now go into relationships, well, I need this, I need that, I need this, that.
And it can be a turnoff for some men. Right. If I come out and say, I need you to, whether it make a certain amount of money, be able to be emotionally available, XYZ, I have to lay it out on the table. Right. And then you got to be able to address the game that some of y'all men play. Yeah. There's a game being played where if I can tell you everything that I want out of you and you can play that role until you get what you want, which is most of sex, and then the shit still don't work.
But I feel like in this generation, the mindset is not focused on the relationship. It's focused on what you can do for me. Yeah. Like you just said, how much money you make. If you were really in love with a man, it really shouldn't matter how much money.
It doesn't matter. If you love him. It does, but we don't know about love yet.
Because if you ask somebody, and that's what I'm saying, like if you ask somebody, I need you to bring in 7 figures, well, how much you bring?
Right. Well, then that may be his expectation. Okay, let's have that. But I'm just saying, like, if we're just having a first date and we're laying out, I don't know him to love him yet. We still have to go through the relationship to figure it out, but when do we set the expectation? Once we figure out, okay, we are in love, now let's talk about what we want from each other.
I feel like when y'all first started talking, y'all should lay it out because, like I said, instead of asking for this, that, and that, if you say, I offer this, that, and that. And
offering what though? Like, when y'all talk about what's being offered, if we're not talking about material, are we talking about like our character?
Just all of it as a person, like, okay, look, I'm a hardworking woman, I don't mind, working part-time, with the kids, whatever the case may be, whatever you offer. Once you say what you offer and he comes up next and say, okay, well, I offer this, you will already know once he say what he offer, if that equals to what you can offer, and you're gonna be like, yeah, you know that you're not for me. When you say I want, blah, 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 and he trying to run game, he gonna give you all that.
Right.
And the whole time you're not even gonna realize he don't offer you anything. You just told him what you wanted. You gave him the playbook already.
Exactly.
And then he took the playbook and scored real quick.
Exactly.
And now he's not offering anything else. Right. And he can't offer everything else you asked for. He can only do it one time. He's a one-trick pony.
Right.
But if you say I offer this, that, and that, what you offer, and his offers don't line up to what you offer, then you be like, yeah, you know, worth it.
I think it's all about, like we saying, it's communication. At the end of the day, like when you start in a relationship with somebody, it's like you saying it's about. I feel you with the offering, but I think you can offer all day, but you gotta know what you want.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you want. If I'm offering, I can offer anybody and everything, but what I have. But it's up to me of what I want, because at the end of the day, I can be wanting, or I can offer somebody a relationship. But if I don't want a relationship right now and I just want a fuck buddy, then that's what I got to give. Like, you know what I mean? So I got to know what I want at the end of the day. Because I can give, I cannot want. I can damn near not. That's real shit. And you got to, at the end of the day, you have to be upfront and know what you want at that time.
It is true.
Yeah, but y'all know good well.
They go
that's real.
Y'all ain't being real and raw because y'all good damn well. First of all, Tyre, even if you said from the front, I just want some dick.
It never ends.
It never ends like that.
You exchange an energy when you have sex.
Expectations change.
You do, but you do have to be real with yourself, and I feel like that's why you have situationships, and that's why females' number one problem. Just because you sleep with somebody, I'm saying it's over and over. Just because you sleep with somebody, do not mean that you're in a relationship with somebody.
Correct.
Because every time a female sleep with somebody, a lot of females think when you sleep with them, they be thinking like, okay, he ain't called me, he ain't came over, girl, he ain't text me, thinking that they in a whole blown relationship and then getting pissed and mad and keying cars and shit. Like you in a whole relationship with this nigga. Because you got untalked about expectations.
Correct.
Assumptions is what you got.
Right.
And expecting more. And it's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think, like you said, we need to talk about them and what you expecting out of this person. Just because we slept don't mean shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but is it that clean cut and dry? Because like I said, you could go in, it's just gonna be this. But then what happens when you start catching feelings? Then you expect more out of that person. You want them to come visit you in the hospital. You want them
that's why you have that talk though.
So we need
straight up front. That's why you have that talk. Hey, look, this what I want. Then I'm feeling you as you check A or check B. Shit, back to high school, back to elementary.
Right.
Shit, hey, I don't want this. I don't want that. Is you gonna go for this or are you not? And if you ain't, tell me when you're not and tell me when you ain't along the way. And we can do a pit stop to the side.
But I mean, that all sound good. It seems like to set the intention up front, it sounds good. It sounds like everybody's saying, okay, yeah, we're going to come to the table, we're going to talk about it. But it never go down like that. Because one, either you thinking about, okay, we finna fuck, or we finna fuck. No one is ever thinking about, oh, I'm going to meet this person, we're going to go out to dinner, and let's talk about our feelings.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about, I'm buying you food, we finna fuck.
Right.
And then
or some women, or some women like, I'm just here to get some money. And I'm like, that's the responsibility.
I'm here for a meal. So we are looking. It's cool to talk about intention, but we're not moving in the same direction.
You might want something 1 minute, like, okay, I want to be in a relationship with him. Then you actually spend time with the dude. It's like, oh shit, he getting on my nerves. And then it's like, I don't really want to move forward, but I already told him that out. You got to just sometimes revisit those expectations.
Yeah. But you do something
that part. And that's the thing about relationships is that, time can only tell. You can always come in with the best intentions, put all your heart on your sleeve, tell them what you want, how you want it done. They're going to be like, okay, I agree. Once you actually get into it and life start happening, it almost never works out that way anyway. Yeah. Unless that's why I feel like, and I'm going through this now where I'm really trying to get back in my relationship with God. Because I do feel like when two people come together, they have to have something above them both to sort of keep them on the same page. You always self-serving and doing what I want to do, doing what you want to do. Y'all never be on the same page. Y'all gonna always, have, because it's all about me. It's all about me. Y'all not ever be able to come together and be one. So that's why I'm like, let me try to get myself right with God first, and find somebody else that's on the same page.
Well, I want to know why we don't test each other. Like, for instance, before I married my wife, I used to put her through little tests. Like,
I don't like that.
But
I don't like that.
Oh,
Go ahead, let me hear.
wait.
I don't like being tested. But go ahead, let me hear.
not like nothing crazy, but like I would just see like if she would, how much she would care, or if she say what she would, what she would do was true. Like, for instance, one time we went shopping and I left my dashiki like on the counter.
Come on through, dashiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Black History Month. I left my dashiki on the counter, and I know she saw it. And I had like I was on the phone, so like that. She got it, and for me that was like, okay, listen, she really cared, like type time. Not most girls would be like, oh, you left your dashiki. Like she like no, she carried it the whole time we went there. But then she would also put me through tests. Like we'll be walking, like see a woman walk past and she'll like leave and just see like what I do. Like if I'm like a Mac day. No,
it sounds like you trying to get me caught.
But this is the thing: if you really say you like that person, it shouldn't be a setup, right? Because.
But were these things before? Let me ask you this: were you doing these things before y'all got married, or were y'all already married?
Before we got married. Once we got married, that's what comes with trust. Like, I believe everything will come to the dark. So when you doing something in the dark, it's gonna come to the light. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that, but that was before we got married because we had to really see like, okay. I said, I told her, I said, hey, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. I said, okay, I want this, and I can do this, and I can do that. I said, okay, we gonna see how this go, because for me, like it was like, all right, I want to marry you, but we gonna plan it, and we gonna see if this is how it goes, and if it's not, then I told her up front, like, come that day, if I don't feel like you really how it is, then it's over. And I also, in the beginning stages, ask her, like, well, did something change during time? Like, because then we start to get to know each other. Like, start to see, like, okay, you do this. Like, she'll tell me, like, you do this, I don't like that. I'm like, yeah, you do this, I don't like that. Okay, cool. Like, all right, let's fix this up. And stuff like that. So now we kind of know one because we put each other through them little tests, but it wasn't nothing petty. Whereas, though, like, oh, you failed the test, it was more so like, okay, I see where your mindset is. Like, if I leave my dashiki, that's not a deal breaker, but I know you're not the type of person that's going to be like, okay, I'm running late. Hey, babe, you forgot such and such. Or if I'm sleeping and it's past time for me to work, you might not have my lunch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know, okay, I do a little bit more of that stuff together. But I know if I'm sick, she's going to take care of me, stuff like that. So that was the type of test I need to know what my woman is actually like. You can say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But you just saying.
Have y'all done that in your relationship with y'all significant others, or put?
I don't trust it. Like, and maybe after hearing it, it kind of makes a little bit more sense because the way you said it, almost sounded like you were trying to do some setup stuff. And to me, if you have to go through means of trying to set me up, that means that you don't trust me. So automatically, even if I passed your test, if I find out you done put me through a test, I'm gonna feel like now I'm looking at you side eyes, like, why are you testing me to begin with? Like, I feel like life is gonna automatically bring situations, to y'all naturally.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm trying to force one to me just makes it disingenuous at that point.
What you gotta say, son? You sound like you got a little something in your throat now. What's that got to
relationship? Okay, friends. I use my relationship for example. In my relationship, me and my boyfriend, I just feel like if you say what you're gonna do, you should walk in that action.
Correct.
And I'm looking at you. I'm listening to what you said, and I'm seeing how you walk. If you don't walk how you said, we're gonna have a happy conversation because you said this, but you're not doing it.
Correct.
And I don't feel like you need to be necessarily a test because if you said what you said you was gonna do,
right,
you should just do it.
Right.
It shouldn't be like revisiting this or I'm setting you, or not necessarily setting you up, but it should not be like a test.
Right.
It's what you said.
Because like you said, what if you did have something on her mind that she didn't get your dashiki and you like, I didn't get my dashiki, you know what I mean? I can't trust you, you know. You ain't broken
That's what
dashiki.
Like, what? Honey, what?
Where's my dashiki? Dashiki saying, where's my dashiki?
So yeah.
I can see that. I feel like this is a fast track kind of pace. Like to what he was saying, like let it happen on his own, it's gonna unravel. He was like, nah, let's fast track this shit. Let me make sure that you're gonna do this shit right. I'm gonna set you up real quick. But I can see the logic behind it. I can. Yeah. And I do get that. So I can see that. Do y'all feel like though that like sex is an expectation?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's like top
You
tier.
have to,
Yes.
you have to know too. Like if you want to have sex like 3 or 4 times a week, you gotta. Because if they
So it's just from the gate. Like let's say
because if they don't want to have sex 3 or 4 times, that might be an issue.
I'm
like
cheating.
willing to
Someone's
compromise. Like because if you like, hey, I have high sex, energy. I need to fuck at least 3 or 4 times a week, and they be like, well, I only want like 1 or 2. That's like the biggest breakups is sex
And money.
Like if you can't meet my sex qualifications, it's like you're a cool person, but like you said, you're gonna have that urge to always cheat because you're always gonna feel like you're not getting appreciated. Like especially with men, like pussy is like you letting me know I want my shit as a man. Like you throw that pussy on me and it feels good. Like you let me know. Like
but a lot of times that shit keep a relationship going for years.
The band.
What?
But that's not always. That's not healthy though. If it's just rooted in sex and sex only, like that's
Right.
not.
Yeah,
That's just lust at that point. That ain't really a relationship.
Yeah, communicate.
Yeah.
But so let me ask y'all this though, because so with sex being an expectation, I know for generally speaking, most men that's how y'all's, because I feel like if y'all not getting sex, no matter what she brings to the table, y'all automatically she go from like maybe a 10 y'all put to like a 4.
Depends on how long y'all been together, what y'all been through, and shit like that. So I mean,
The sex goes together like on that.
Sex is definitely top 3 on the man.
it is.
So how do y'all feel about like the 90-day rule, or women kind of putting some time frame? Like they don't want to have sex for the first 90 days.
Absolutely.
Because for the
Joe Blow down the street, he did 2 days ago. Like, it be 90 days.
if y'all trying to do a relationship,
I think you should value that. Y'all should value that I put an inspiration cutoff on it for you, and I didn't do it for Joe Blow.
But you was trying to get a relationship.
and then pause on that real quick too. Why do y'all? I hate when dudes say that because the last dude didn't have to wait. Like just because that's almost what's the think of an analogy for that? Y'all got to put in your own work basically because you don't know what he was doing. Digging it down, doing it good. You probably got a baby. Nope, not saying you, but you trying to get the same privileges of him. You don't know what he was actually doing.
My word on his credit. Your credit.
I just feel like you got to put in your own work regardless.
I gotta tell them. Do your work. Do your own work.
But hold on. You put in your own work at the same time. When you start talking, you was talking to him at one point. You had different expectations. Then once you get into trying to talk to me, your expectations didn't change. But we was in the friend zone at one point. And now you trying to talk to me. I've already been here for 90 days. You know me.
I value you.
That's fine.
That's like, yo, I actually want to take my time and do it right with you because I can see me spending more time with you and actually build a life with you versus
But we not virgins. We not virgins.
Nobody virgins. Everybody knows
now.
it's not who said it was a pedestal. I'm just saying like
the guy hit 2 days. So you said you value that guy. You let him, hit after 90 days. So did you not value the guy or yourself when you let the other guy hit quick?
I don't think it's a matter of value. It's a matter of the expectation.
He doesn't equal up, so why do you even want to fuck him anyway if you don't equal up to the last guy?
It could just be trying to get some sex. Y'all know how this is. I'm just trying to fuck on a bitch. I don't see nothing out of her.
I buy you now.
If you already want to fuck him, why you give 90 days? If you already know you're going to fuck him.
But I'm saying, so if I see, let's say hypothetically, I'm seeing Tyler, right? I'm like, well, Tyler, fried. I like his swag. I heard, I'm trying to just be honest, see what it's like, and then send you on your way. Whereas Christian here, I see he got himself together. He's, working. He got, character traits that I like. I actually want to see where this could go in a relationship. So then I want to go about it in a more proper way and something like that. But y'all feel like
that don't change nothing with the box.
As far as what?
The box is the same.
It does.
We can work on us. We'll communicate a lot more.
But y'all don't operate like that.
You ain't gotta.
Yeah,
y'all don't operate like that because once y'all get the sex, y'all feel like y'all put us in that category of just being sex. Y'all not gonna take us serious in a relationship.
Well, he's not gonna take you serious even if he hit after 90 days because you let him hit. If you really wanted him and you ain't never let him hit 2 days, then he'll probably
like I said, the communication is going to outweigh the box. Because if you're telling me that you want a relationship, if you're telling me that you want a relationship, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not what I want. You give me 90 days, I can still play with you for 90 days, and I'm doing my own thing, and then I still don't want to be in a relationship. You know, finally get
sometimes long-term players.
I believe that's what I'm saying. So you saying that, okay, so if you know a girl, she done 2 days, she did it with Tyler, you trying to fuck her, she want to actually take it with you, but you just want to fuck her. You're saying you're going to manipulate the situation just until you get you something.
Not me.
Okay, you just said I'll play around for the 90 days.
There's a lot of times that you would do that. So why I'm telling you up front, I'm trying to fuck. You telling me, well, I want to be in a relationship.
Then y'all not equal, different expectations. Leave it there. I'm good on you, shorty. Like, I ain't trying to be in a relationship. Let it be. I ain't trying to fuck you then.
Cool, but you can still do the same thing.
You never said either.
Say it again.
No one ever says that intention either.
Right.
Everyone is always looking for a relationship, but nobody just be like, oh, you know, I just want to fuck.
Right. Well, I feel like men are more like to the lie.
I don't want to. I just want to fuck. Like, we don't have to go out.
I say the shit. Try it loud.
But I think what the problem is, like, women like to be in this mindset of boss and I'm gonna do what a man do, but then y'all so sensitive.
Right.
So it's like you want to be like a man, but then you want to be but you want to put your feelings in.
But y'all sensitive too. Y'all just express it different. They need their feelings too.
A man
will be in his feelings, but when I say I'm here to fuck, it's I'm here to fuck. I'll be like, I'm here to fuck, but you emotional too. I don't get that.
And now I don't want to get on this.
You can hug me.
Sex and emotions don't equal. Sex and love are not the same thing. It's not.
I just want to fuck. And he get up after he fuck you and leave, you gonna feel some type of way.
True.
You like, hey, you couldn't even lay the bed with me for 5 minutes. Like,
because for me,
or if he just done, you put his pants on and walk out. You gonna feel some type of way about that.
Because even if y'all not in a relationship, I just feel like the art of sex, it has to have some level of intimacy. Otherwise, it's just like, what y'all doing?
But the intimacy comes from the communication.
No. I feel like intimacy. It does come from communication. But when you say intimacy is not love.
Correct.
Intimacy is not.
And some guys not trying to get intimate.
When you say intimacy, it's probably that's like saying love equates to sex. Love and sex are two different things.
Absolutely.
So when you say it needs intimacy, you're gonna have
meaning like after we have sex, meaning like just to be cold, it's like, all right, bye. Like that's not necessary for it to just be sex. Like you can still be a genuine, like, okay, I had a good time, you know, whatever. Like you don't have to be a whole asshole after sex just to keep it in the
intimacy while y'all was fucking.
Where was the intimacy?
No.
When y'all was fucking, because obviously it was good. Because you ain't be like, oh, this shit was trash. So obviously it was good.
But if it was trash, you ready to get the nigga up out the door.
Right.
You can close the door while you walking out. He trying to take you by. You close the door.
Like, let's just say they just want to fuck. They really just want a situationship.
Right.
They want to fuck with you, and y'all sometimes have boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, things, and then but we not boyfriend and girlfriend. We don't live in that. When the guy say he just trying to fuck, he literally he got a nut he needs to bust, and you the one he want to bust it on, and he's gonna bust it.
It's not complicated.
Right.
That's some real
shit.
I get it.
I feel you.
I just feel like
I just think those are murky waters to travel
y'all feel like whores if a guy fuck you and then that's the problem. Like if y'all know y'all not a whore, but y'all just really want to fuck somebody, if he fuck you and then leave, you feel like a whore. So now you feel bad about yourself. Whereas him, he could be like, I know, or he don't care, or he be like, listen, I'm not a whore. You know, we can't.
Anyway, we in the group chat anyway.
Right.
Let me tell you about this nigga real quick.
His dick was good, but that nigga left me afterwards. You gonna feel some type of way? It's like, wow, when y'all go came to conclusion, y'all
but
just
then y'all gonna be right out some coochie because y'all probably gonna get it again after that because y'all attitudes. Like y'all gotta learn the art of finesse. Because women are not on the cool. I'm gonna just be straight. I don't feel like women are intentionally. I feel like we know what it is. I just feel like that we don't want to have to feel like you said, like a whore. That's what it is. Let it be that, but you ain't gotta make us feel that way. Like keep the art of finesse.
Like you finessing you feeling some type of way afterwards.
No, it's not.
It's a way you go about
Okay, so finesse is finesse. Let me finish. Finesse. Okay, you talking about getting played. So being played is saying I want like a relationship, but after you fuck and you switch up, that's being played. Finesse is like this is what it is, but I'm gonna do it in such a way where it's like I leave with a good feeling about the situation. I feel so used. I feel like a whore. Like y'all gotta know how to finesse it. Y'all just gonna be fucking. No, being Being played is when you saying it's gonna be one thing, you're gonna be in a relationship, and then you actually just want to fuck, and then you switch up. That's being played. But that's
So
you want to be lied to?
not being lied to. Okay, so at the end of the day, I feel like any type of sex, being not in a relationship, is already, you putting yourself in a disadvantaged situation. Either way, I feel like there's really no right way to be in that situation. What I'm saying is, if you're going to be doing that, at least don't do it to where the person that are involved have to feel bad. Like you said, after y'all finish, let's say she didn't like it. She ain't got to be an asshole and put you out the door and talk shit about you. She can say like, all right, I had a good time. See you later. Keep it cool. You ain't got to be feeling like a piece of shit. She ain't got to be feeling like,
And you might get a return.
You might get another visit. But if you acting like, you want to make me feel like I ain't shit just because you want to be clear that this is not a relationship, then it's like, okay, that might be a one and done. Like, just learn how to finesse the situation. Because at the end of the day, it's all, if you're not with that person, it's still just not, it's all wrong at the end of the day. Like, you got to be with somebody to have sex. Ideally, is the way it's supposed to work. Under God, if you want to be with the way it should be, casual sex is not the way we're designed to be anyway. It's not supposed to work out that way. But if you're going to be in it, at least do it to where it ain't.
But on the lonely nights, it works sometimes.
Right.
An old lady under
I'm just saying.
Okay, Christian, my bad. Go ahead. Okay.
I feel like you gotta communicate that. That's again called communication.
So you told us a finesse. Okay, so he stayed there for 5 minutes, cuddle with you, and then he leave. What do you want?
That's it.
That's
I'm
it.
all about my name. And that's where we at. If we have understanding, we just having sex, and that's it.
Yeah, go
Then
like
that's go about your name.
That's the problem.
But then,
After that happens, after 4 or 5 times,
we in a relation, y'all in a relationship.
Yeah.
you spicy tired.
No,
Hey, what is that?
I'll be in a relationship. That's what I heard. I will also say it goes both ways. I'm not just gonna give it to women.
Yeah, some guys like
Men,
that too.
if y'all are gonna keep cuddling and keep doing whatever it is y'all gonna do in the concept of we just fucking, both men and women are gonna get an emotional text. Yes, men might be more vocal with it, but trust me, you gonna be sitting at home in your feelings worried about who she's talking to. Right. Because she's not putting on you right now.
Because men, a lot of times men don't have time. So if they make a time for you, it's like, all right, we invested in it. And with women, it's like, okay, I don't like to be around. Like a lot of times, women don't really like to be around people. So it's like, I'm letting you in my safe space. Be together, and that's the problem. Because the whole time, y'all really don't want to be together. Y'all really just fucking till y'all find whoever y'all supposed to be, wherever the case may be. Because you don't want to just be fucked and dead. Right. Now y'all basically building a bond, and y'all already, transferring energies when y'all fucking.
Correct.
And then y'all transfer even more energy when y'all laying up in that bed, watching Netflix.
First of all, wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because I'm confused. First of all, we're fucking people in the bed, because I feel like, I don't know about y'all, I'm not fucking everybody in my bed. Because that's how you switch the souls and shit. On my fucking couch, nigga, you not getting in my bed. Everybody in my bed.
I ain't doing dirty. Trying to walk to the bedroom. Hold up.
Bro, where you going?
Your stop is right here.
It's right here. You're not.
But do you know the location does not determine how you're going to feel during this sex. You can call it a quickie all you want to, but
I'm going to be cuddling over that couch.
We are connected. Like, we are physically connected to each other. You can be on the bed, the floor, and the ceiling. We still gonna form a bond.
That's why then when they know they just want to fuck, they do it. Because they want you to already know from that instance.
Okay.
That energy that we transfer is only sexual.
That's it.
Me leaving is letting you know it is absolutely nothing else there. Because once he stayed for even 1 minute after,
falling in love.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. And that's why I just feel like at the end of the day, casual sex is not something that we should make a normal thing.
That's why I said.
Because it's too much. It's too much. See how right now we got all this confusion about how it's supposed to go, what it should look like, what we expect. It's not on the same page.
It's not on the same page. It's not healthy.
It's not.
But it's good.
It's good until it ain't time. Until you cry in your car. Until you cry in your car.
Nah, bitch, my problem is you feel the phone call though. But anyway, so I'm just kidding. You gotta get one, fix one. So fix a flat. But Nah, but you right, just
But
nah.
let's get back to relationships though. Because right now we just talking about casual situationships. But
so wait, I have a question. So about the expectations though. So the expectations, like you said, with sex, I'm not trying to jump on sex, but is there expectations, is the same expectations you have in relationships, are there expectations for sneaky links?
Like performance based? Like you mean like
anything, any expectations overall? Is there expectations for sneaky links?
Like as far as how many times?
Set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for failure. I agree. Giving your sneaky links the same. Cause y'all just fucking. They come in at nighttime at 10 and they leave by 11:30. How can you give them the same expectation as the person you trying to be with long term? I don't think that it doesn't equate to the same thing. You gonna get played.
So as far as like, so you don't feel like you can set you gotta do it 3 times a week. You can't put like a schedule on. Okay, just
they sneak
when I want it. You gotta want it when I want it,
and just coordinate schedules. And we see what we see. If the time is right, we hit each other. If it's not, well, I'll see you whenever I see you. But you can't tell that to your man.
I think there's an unspoken rule, like on the sneaky link though, like an expectation, should I say?
I feel like
when I see you, don't speak, or when I see you, act like you don't know me, and I don't know you, or. That's the unspoken shit, right? Or there's a unspoken rule, like don't call after a certain time.
I see you last night.
What y'all say?
Because I was like, it's cool, but it ain't me. If we are sneaky linking and I see you, unless I see you with your significant other, hey. But
look, if that emotion is, I don't need you to like me. No.
So we
talking. I don't know that. I feel like where does the line go from us being friends to we're intimate? Because if we just fucking, why can't we be cool? I know.
Because I mean, the same reason why we can't cuddle. Like, I mean, if we friends, because my thing is this: if you call a person your friend, meaning like a friend is what, somebody that you confide in, somebody you enjoy being around. That's a relationship. We friends and we fucking while we not together. What's missing here? But so friends with benefits. What's the difference between friends with benefits versus being in a relationship? I don't understand the difference. I mean, I feel like you're getting everything that's a friend. Say that again. What's the difference between a friends with benefits and being in a relationship? Is it just the commitment that's missing?
It's just the commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. Because then if we just friends with benefits, I can't get mad about what you're doing. See,
I can't get mad.
I can get pissed. I can raise the storm. I can flip the table.
That's not realistic. Because as a friend, that's like, okay, so even if we're friends, you're not going to want to do something that you feel like, if I know that you, my friend, this is a personal thing for me, and this made me feel this kind of way, and you still go do it, not because you can, but why would you want to do that? If that's going to hurt me as a friend. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as a friend, you should be considering
But if we're doing friends with benefits and I'm doing some fuck shit, first, I don't have a right to tell you, so I won't just tell you. And you won't know, because we just friends with benefits. But I'm not if any relationship, it's about being respectful. And I'm not going to disrespect you. Now, if I'm fucking you and we fucking regularly, like we fucking like 2-3 times a week or whatever the case may be, yes, I would think any man or woman would go out their way to try to be respectful to that person.
Correct.
Some people won't.
It's just a gray line because, like you said, if I call you my friend, I'm gonna expect you to have a certain level of respect and care for me. And on top of us having sex, that's gonna automatically, to me, strengthen the bond until, like I said, maybe it's just the commitment that's missing. But to me, that's the whole relationship. But y'all just in denial about it. At that point, like y'all are together.
If you strengthen the bond, you basically become a couple, and that's why they don't do it. I feel like friends with benefits, you really got a year timeline.
Correct.
Because 9 out of 10 times, if that's really your friend, they gonna know you did some fuck shit anyway.
Exactly. That's
because
what I'm
they know you so much.
Correct.
So it's really on the year timeline because after y'all stop fucking, y'all can't be friends again.
Correct.
It's
you did something to hurt them or did something.
And y'all always gonna want to fuck again. And then if y'all fuck again, it's like
toxic cycle of
right.
Yeah.
You don't believe that? You call it whisper? You don't call it whisper?
Now I ain't gonna put your business out there, but you just had a similar situation. Oh, let me not say that, but
not contrary on that. Now look, I tell my situation, I get wrong with it. that person ain't ready. Because I don't like, oh no, let that person go by.
But that situation where you felt like as a friend.
As a friend, I've had friends, guys, that I've actually been friends with, and yes, it did go to a different, level, and we still friends today. And actually, one of them, like, actually currently is my man. Like, he, well, actually, it's my current, but he actually still, like, is my guy, and, like, we were friends first, and we, jumped back out from a relationship, went to a friendship, went back to a relationship, back to friends.
But y'all not really friends with benefit.
We were friends with benefits.
Right, that's how I started, but then it eventually went into something else.
Yeah, but then, so that I had another situation where we were just friends, and we didn't ever cross to more. We just stayed friends with benefits.
And then are y'all relationships still the same, like how it started, or do y'all communicate?
So since I told you that I have a man,
I'm not at liberty to discuss this.
but we can end it for you.
Straight people, heterosexual people, y'all make shit so complicated. Like, hey man, it's real simple. I meet you, you meet me, you like me, I like you, let's go do the thing.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's all this, I feel this way, and she don't know if she like me. Like, you talk to your homeboy, she talk to her homeboy, I don't know if she like me.
Well, let me ask you this then, from your perspective. So, do you feel like casual sex between two men, is it just that y'all don't have the same emotional, like, difficulties to kind of go through?
It doesn't, because we know what it is. It's okay, boom. If we on a relationship, we don't say we're gonna be in a relationship. It's not like we don't like to blend the lines because then.
And you don't feel like
I know what y'all. It's easier because I know what I want. Like y'all both are direct.
It's not annoying about what you want. It's just don't go in it so with the same mindset. Mm-hmm. Like men and women would never be the same. So you will always say one way. He's gonna always say one way. But when it's two dudes, it's like okay, I can kind of see what you're thinking. You kind of see what I'm thinking. You're kind of working it out from there. Okay. Women and men feel like they never can find like an even ground. Like men will never know about women, and women will never know about men. And that's the journey. Like this whole journey, men and women on earth, is the whole thing is about a woman trying to figure out men and men trying to figure out women. And it never is ever going to be like this because women think one way. Yeah, think another.
So, okay, let me just ask this. So, being in a casual relationship where there's like no emotion, so you don't care if that person got a different dude every day of the week.
If it's just sex, then it's just sex. I don't even have to get you up until we're having sex.
The expectation of that is just make sure that you can clean.
Right. Y'all protect yourselves?
Absolutely.
Okay. Does having unprotected sex change the dynamics of casual sex?
I feel like because you got that trust. Like,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's an individual preference, but most niggas will go with anything raw.
That is true.
Facts. It is damn show.
Oh, that's scary.
That is true.
And don't give a damn. Mm-mm. And be waiting for the female to say
something. But also.
And if she don't give a damn,
females will let a nigga get hurt too. So you can't just say it's the niggas because females will let a nigga just come to her house and get her raw.
But I don't know about multiple dudes hitting her raw. I don't know about that. We ain't letting every nigga get raw.
No, we don't. Right, we real raw don't.
We don't.
But there is.
It might be that special one, but we're not.
And you can tell because the nigga that they let me get to. Because the niggas that they be with, you can tell because the niggas that they with, they be hitting it raw. You know what I mean? Like when the nigga go to hit you raw, you can tell because the nigga be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, nigga, this ain't the first time that you, because you with her. Like, okay, be quiet. Yeah, be quiet.
All right, so let's segue. What some notion here? Let me see. What we already kind of touched on most of the topics.
Yes, we did. Relationship and expectations. Let me see. Do expectations ruin a relationship?
They do.
Yes.
How?
Because someone will set an expectation and the other person won't even know what it is. You want something from me, but you haven't even told me. So how am I supposed to exceed this expectation if I don't even know how to get there? I don't even have a guide. Throw some clues out or something. Give it off.
But isn't that why they need? Isn't that why we need expectations though?
But sometimes it's an expectation thrown out there that you don't even want to deal with.
See, and that's why I said, like, most dudes don't even want to meet the expectations that we put on the plate anyway. So what's the point of even setting them?
But some expectations that are set are, well, people tend to not say their real expectations.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know.
I will tell you what I like, but deep down, this is what I really like.
Right.
It's what I like, but this is what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again.
They're afraid to lose that person. Like they tell you what I really want.
Yeah.
They be like, "Oh, you might not want to accept me." They don't really want to accept you for what you really want. It's just not for you.
That
That's what
is
people
so
gotta
true.
realize. It's just not for you.
Yeah.
So the
It's scared to lose that
expectation has
person.
to have
That is so
intention.
Ooh.
That damn
The
expectation.
expectation has to have intention. Because you can't just
I like that.
say it, or else then y'all just really playing each other.
Exactly.
Playing games.
Playing games. We too old to be playing games.
Mhm.
That's that part. I like that.
Hey, come on, snap it up.
Okay. Appreciate
Y'all heard it first from the guru.
How you feel? Okay. Do you have expectations for women in relationships? When like a not just a fuck buddy, but like a relationship. Like, what's the expectations out of your partner?
Right.
No, I mean, I'm
And head, good head.
yes,
Good.
that's the
Yeah.
but also yeah, I don't get it.
Tyler, are you dying?
Oh no, I like men.
That's
But I prefer, but I love women. I grew up around women. So like, I like the female form. I'm just not attracted to women. That's
okay.
it.
Ever? Like, never?
I mean, yeah, I slept with a girl. I lost my virginity to a girl.
Okay.
I dated a couple where I went to the house. I'm still a straight thing. So of course I
Yeah.
dated a bunch of girls.
Okay.
So I mean, just sex.
But sex is very important. But
sex is
I
really-
think sex should be important to everybody.
It is. Wait.
Okay.
And then just supporting me in my dreams.
Okay.
That's a big one.
And what does that look like to you, though? Like, be
Ooh,
specific. How does
shit.
support look? Is that going with you? I don't know what your dreams are, but is that
You
like
gotta
being
set that
physically
intention.
present?
Because you say you want to support, but you gotta say
You gotta know
what that
so
support
what that
looks like to you.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is just like, so I do t-shirts and stuff. So if I'm making a t-shirt, like that shit with me. Like,
Okay.
or if I'm doing a big ass order, like you ain't even gotta help me with it. Just showing that you're really trying to help, or if I'm in there for like 3-4 hours and I'm kind of tired or whatever, go give me some coffee or give me a Monster or something. It's like, here, I got this for you because I know you got more.
Because it's the difference between supporting you and supporting your business. Which one do you want to support you while you run your business, or help you to run your business?
Support me.
Okay.
Right.
Because my business,
Supporting him is supporting his business.
Right.
But no, he's talking about getting there and help you make these t-shirts.
No,
like,
no,
your
no,
name
no,
press. Okay.
I don't even care if you jump in and do it. If you're like, hey, you need some help with making these t-shirts, I'm like, no, I'm good. I appreciate it. I might hit you with the bring me some food. I'm hungry. I'm trying to this, that, and other. That's more of the support that I've been wanting.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask you to come in here and press the shirt and you mess it up. I'm
Right.
like,
That's what's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
it ain't even gonna be no
Yeah, that's
argument.
trying to
It's gonna be like, I got it from here.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate
It
you.
gives
I got
more
it from here.
resentment.
Right.
It goes towards more resentment. Fuck up my shit.
It ain't even
bad. Like, I was just
It's-
Right.
Right, and then you get that. I'm not even gonna help no more. I don't want to go in there no more because I fuck some shit up. You gonna be pissed off at me? And I can't fuck you tonight. Ain't none of that shit.
So do y'all have the expectation of like, do y'all feel like once, like you and your wife, for example, like would you ever go in business with her and like have a family business, or do you feel like y'all should keep y'all's like financial affairs?
Me and my wife do have a business together.
Okay.
But I also have the production company as well with my other co-owners. So I have the production company that's just like me. Like my wife, she'll come to events with me. Like, sometimes if I'm like running a little late or I had 2 events in one day, she'll like, have my camera bag, while I carry all the other bags. And then she'll be like, all right, I'm out, like where she'll stay, and she'll get like videos of me on her phone so I can have remote, stuff like that.
Okay. Shout out to the wife.
Right.
Come on, wifeys. Okay, wifeys. We see y'all. What do you look at? What's that big?
Okay.
Oh, wifeys on the part.
But with our business that we have together, it do be complicated sometimes. My wife, she's also working on another business to have on her own because our only business she does have is the one that we have together.
So she go a little bit harder on hers because that's her business.
Right. And so sometimes, she'd be like, I'm doing all the work for this business. But sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like when it comes down like to edit, like even editing a podcast, it take a long time to edit a podcast because you gotta realize a clip is really only like 15 seconds and then you gotta go to another camera. be in meetings or she'll be selling stuff, and she'll feel like, hey, for the last 4 days you've been working on the same video, and I've been doing all this, and then I gotta, kind of explain to her like, all right, well, that's because I do that. That's why, like, I'll do my work, and I'll ask my wife, like, hey, come look at this, and she'll see the different places, and she'll be like, hey, you have to do all that to let her know, like,
make her involved.
I'm not procrastinating our business. That's why now, like, I feel like with men, you gotta learn your wife. Like my wife, she tells me what she wants, but sometimes her body language will tell different. So when I'll do like events and stuff like that, if it's like a pop-up shop or something like that, I'll put in my contract, hey, I'll do photography and video photography for the event, but my wife needs a vendor spot. That way we can both get the event together. So like, we spend time together. We really didn't spend time together, but we spent time together. I helped, in building our business, and I also was able to. So now, since I started doing that, our relationship in the business got better. Like our relationship outside of business is great, but our business it was a little rocky because she felt like you neglected this for that, and and then that's with my friend. So she like me, where it's like take a little bit more for this business. It's like that. Products and I network with people. It's a little bit easier. I don't have to take an hour out of my day. I gotta take 5 hours sometimes out of my day, so I just found ways to connect.
And that can strengthen the relationship if y'all have that communication. Like you said, even just the fact that she might not have said something, but just having that emotional intelligence to read her body language. Like 90% of our language is nonverbal, and I just feel like some of y'all men just like y'all intentionally or just don't want to read our language. That's why sometimes when you said we don't say certain things because we kind of feel like y'all should know or at least pick up on certain things. Like some stuff we don't feel like we always have to kind of keep saying. Then we start nagging.
Why do people feel like that?
Because we get the label of being naggers if we always talk about something that's bothering us or, if we, express ourselves. It's just not always received from a place of understanding. So sometimes we just rather
because we don't understand the same way.
Right.
Because when you say something like you nagging about it, we just look at it like, get over this shit, because that's what I'm gonna do. Like, it doesn't bother me as much. I got other things.
You gotta acknowledge my emotion. That's where that emotional connection comes from.
But when we acknowledge it, we acknowledge it. But you feel like we disregard you when we're saying this. We're not disregarding.
You're saying get over it. If I'm telling you this is bothering me, it may seem trivial to you, but if it's something that's on my mind and got me emotionally upset, instead of saying get over it, because that's what you can do.
No, I'm not gonna say get over
it. Like we said at first, if they're not in tune with themselves with their own emotions,
right?
How can you expect them to be in tune with your emotions?
True. Okay.
But if we are in tune,
my expectations are a man with emotional intelligence. I will say that for himself and for me. I'm coming up with what I'm looking for. Because to me, when it talks about setting expectations, I feel like we do kind of lean on how much money he making, how tall he is, like the external thing. But as far as like character, I'm trying to really figure out what I'm looking for.
One thing too, I can say, and I want to close out with this, is that we expect, I think, as women and men on both ends, we expect one another to be monogamous.
That part.
When we don't know, women and men. We expect each other to be monogamous going into relationship when we don't know that they may be. Wow.
Because I feel like you will be batshit crazy to think that you talking to somebody and then y'all had a relationship, a conversation about y'all being committed. You'll be weird. It'd be weird to think that person is the only person.
It shouldn't be though. It shouldn't be. Because then at what stage? So if you meet somebody and you start talking to this person, but y'all casual, you still got situations going. If you progress with that person, like when do you let them know that, hey, I was talking, like I don't get.
Because it comes to a point where we have a conversation about, we're going to be committed. And this is when we have a conversation about this is where the intention and the expectation comes. But before we have that conversation, do not expect for you to be the only person I'm talking to.
Well, that's the
dating phase of it. You're saying it's still dating.
Yeah, until we have a conversation about, I don't like this. Well, I don't like this. And we can't really say, I expect you to be monogamous. Why?
That's because then, how you going to convey that to your other situationship? You're not finna I just feel like you got other connections with other people that you're going to have to then go
Just like that. I don't know how it works for women, but a man will put himself in a position that if he talk to somebody and this is who I want to talk to, shut it down.
Hell no.
Now, some men can be messy, most, but in the context of a real man,
Right.
he gonna shut this shit down. Like,
When he finds the one he wants to marry.
No.
But until he finds the one he wants to marry,
He gonna be fucking other bitches up until his wedding day. That's when the real commitment start. We look very good.
Maybe not his name.
With that,
we
a little traumatized. We're a little traumatized over here.
I don't think up until the wedding day. But that's definitely. I think that we definitely have to do a part 2 on this one. I think I got some more expectation questions, but I don't know how y'all like today though. Is y'all like the combo for today? Today was good.
What's smooth?
Yeah.
I feel like we could have got a little wild a little bit.
What you want to talk about?
I do want to thank y'all for coming. We did enjoy ourselves today with our conversation on relationships and relationship
And expectations.
It's been a long. We was here early today, y'all. So it's been a long day today. So I do want to thank y'all for coming. Freddie, Christian, and Tyler. Y'all want to give me information on where they can reach y'all at? We'll start this way with Freddie.
Yeah, so you can follow me on my business page, JFL Productions. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. And then my personal is JFL_Fred. And that's on Facebook, Instagram, everything.
I love for editing and photography.
Yes.
You can get me on Ultimate Level Graphics on Instagram. That's with an X. For any shirts and stuff like that.
These are little t-shirt designs. All right.
Tyler.
I'm not saying anything. I feel like this is it.
Okay. Look, you didn't reach Tyler, don't worry about it, okay? Yeah.
Catch me outside.
Catch him outside. All right, and as always, thank you, JB, for the hosting of the day. We appreciate it. All right, Real Raw, we out. Catch us next time with another topic and some faces. Holla.